Hey Karen, this is attempt number 3 at making a video for you. I made a nice, pretty lengthy video, and then my phone informed me that I couldn't send it to my email, so I could send it to you because the size was too big. Nice to meet you, and it's pretty late here, or early, depending on your perspective. I'm on medication right now for some health problems, and it makes me tired and a little under the weather. So I apologize for my tired appearance and nasally and stuffiness. 'Tis the season. Let's see. The Carberries presented quite the challenge when I started out in my research, mainly due to the fact that my family, my mom's side of the family, they all come from the Boston area, and they have pretty thick Boston accents. Me, not so much. And for years, I was always told that it was the Carberry family. And so for years, I was looking for Mary Ann Carberry, and by extension, after learning about her sister Rose, and for the longest time, that's all I ever heard about was, my great-grandmother and her sister Rose, and reference to a brother who died young, who was a cop. And I did find that out. Excuse me, eventually. So for years I was searching for Carberry, C-A-B-R-Y, or C-A-B-R-E-Y, C-A-B-R-E-A-Y, excuse me, and variations thereof. And could never find anything. And then, when I was on Gen Forum once, I believe, excuse me, pardon me, when I was on Gen Forum, someone clued me into the fact that it was probably a variation of Carberry. And so I tried searching under Carberry, and lo and behold, found a bunch of records. Interestingly enough, the variations and the different spellings are documented in several of the family records. For instance, your grandmother's birth record, Rose Carberry, is indexed, it's spelled C-A-B-R-Y, I do believe, or it's C-A-R-B-R-Y. One of their brothers, they had two, is indexed as C-A-B-E-R-Y, and one of the other brothers is indexed as C-A-R-B-E-R-Y. My great-grandmother's birth record is C-A-R-B-E-R-R-Y. Her marriage record is C-A-B-R-Y. So, a lot of conflicting information when I first started out and trying to make sense of it all. And I used, eventually, other information gleaned from the records to confirm or to confirm or deny certain records to figure out who was who and did it apply and was this the person I was looking for. Didn't get too much further on the Carberries till this past year when I got in touch with your dad and was able to get some more information from my family and was able to find some records by searching under those different variant spellings. Yeah, I was quite surprised to find that they had a brother who died at the age of 1 of cholera, John Augustine Carberry, and that they had, the uncle, it was their brother. They had 3 brothers, One brother died relatively young-ish, in his mid to late 30s. He was a cop. He served with my great-grandfather, or they were both in the same class at the academy. Joseph F. Carberry. According to what the story is that Aunt Rosemary told me, was that Joseph F. Carberry was taking some drunkard or somebody out of the back of a paddy wagon, and the door hit him or something, or he got injured. The guy tried to get away or something to that effect, and he got injured in his arm. And a day or so went by, and his arm was giving him trouble, and he was visiting some friends or someone. The family doesn't really know who he was visiting or why. She didn't really go, Aunt Rosemary didn't really go too much into it. She alluded that there was, like, something going on in terms of where he was. I guess maybe it was the wrong side of the tracks or something, I don't know. All I know is she said that he was visiting, some people, and they had a baby, and he went to pick the baby up. And when he picked up the baby, he lifted his arm, his injured arm. Apparently he had a blood clot that they didn't know about. And when he picked up his arm and elevated his arm, it triggered the blood clot and went right to his heart, and he died. And he apparently dropped the baby. I don't know if the baby is okay or was okay or not. I don't know. So that's the story on Joseph F. Carberry. James Thomas Carberry ran away very young, like probably late teen, maybe 16, 17, to Syracuse, New York, or to New York. Why? Nobody seems to know. And I was able to reconfirm this information with Aunt Rosemary, that he ran away to Syracuse, New York, and got married out there and had kids. Excuse me. And Aunt Rosemary remembered a brother of Mary Nicholson's living a street over when she was a kid. And I was able to find a James Nicholson and family residing the street over on Patterson Street, in the same street that she named. And it was through his information on other family trees and their brother Thomas's information that I was able to find Mary Nicholson's parents. So it's only been this past year-ish that I've really had some major breakthroughs with our Carberry line. It's been difficult because, there's not a lot of records, or at least there's only so much here. I was able to actually talk with a government genealogist from County Armagh, Ireland, and he was able to tell me that they do have Joseph A. Carberry's birth record. They have birth records of 2 of his brothers, and the birth records and marriage records of his parents, and the marriage records of his grandparents. And he was able to tell me that Joseph was one of 11 children. Wow. Although to find out the information on those records, I have to pay a lot of money for them. Ireland funds its genealogical research through selling copies of records for a pretty steep price. Like, we can go to the city hall, or you can write to a city hall and get your birth record or family's birth record for $15, $20, $10, depending on where you're going. In Ireland, it costs like $50 per record. So, add into his records, the records of his parents, 2 of his brothers and grandparents, that's quite a bit of money. And I just don't have it right now. So that's where his birth record is. I've been trying to track down his death record. According to my Uncle Father Don, and my Aunt Carol and Great Aunt Rosemary. My Uncle Father Don and my Great Aunt Rosemary were there. Joseph A. Carberry died in August of 1953. He was waked at home in Dorchester. He owned the house. My great-grandmother inherited the house, and then my great-aunt inherited the house, and then she sold it. Mary Nicholson Carberry, she died, I want to say in the 30s, 1938 maybe, 1935. I have it written down. She died before Joseph, I think. Yeah, he died in 53. She died in... I think she died in the 30s. I'll double check my notes tomorrow and send you the information. But she was waked at your grandmother's house in Milton. The only pictures I have is that one picture of Mary Ann Carberry Higgins taken at my mother's wedding. Don't have any pictures of her father. Don't have any pictures of her siblings. Don't have any pictures of Rose. If you've got any, I would be, like, forever grateful. The pictures from that side of the family seem to be hard to come by, or hard to find. Nobody seems to have any. I know that my great-grandmother was a model for Jordan Marsh, apparently. I don't know if she was a clerk. I mean, I know she worked as a clerk once there, but according to the family, she was a model. So yeah, and I think I've just reached my limit. I've got to go. I'll talk to you later. Great to meet you. Bye.